Good afternoon, everybody. How are you? My name is Michael. I am the co-founder here at backtothefuturetrading.com, and I want to welcome you to our workspace, our charts, our markets. We are getting started here, so buckle up, buckle down. Let me just verify that you can hear me. Earl, what are you doing here? You're supposed to be at the airport. 5%. Hey, everybody, welcome, and thank you for coming. Just a quick introduction here. We're going to get right into the charts here before Christmas. I know you don't have a lot of time, and I want to make the most of it. We are that weird company. If you're finding me, you're here from Facebook. I'm that weird guy who keeps posting stuff on your Facebook group, telling you when stuff is going to happen in advance. And if you're here today, it's because most of the time the things I was telling you were going to happen happened, and you're kind of curious to see how we did it. We have been around for 15 years. We have a near 5-star out of 5 Trustpilot rating with actual customers and traders, no fake reviews. And we've been working with futures, forex, equities, options, and now crypto customers for 15 years, helping them know that time makes trading easy. Times make trading easy. And so when we look at these signals here, I want to show you how this works and review what happened at some of the times that we've been following along with. I'm going to look at the larger time frames like we do in my daily trading room, so you can get a sense of how this works if you're trading with swing positions or looking at longer options plays, for example, and sort of work my way from left to right. And then we're actually going to circle back down and see what happened at the times that we gave you intraday for markets like today and yesterday on the E-mini S&P to get a sense for whether or not you can be ready a certain number of moments every day at the computer and take a high probability trade based on timing, market manipulation, preventing overtrading, letting your winners run because you know how long a signal has to go, and cutting your losers while they're small, because if the trade was supposed to work, it's supposed to work now. I've been posting these signals into the stock trading groups now since the summer. We had been waiting for moves up in Apple on May 25th, June 6th, July 6th rather, August 14th, September 22nd, as well as November 6th and then December 12th. We were waiting for selling signals on July 26th, September 5th, October 6th, and November 21st. The next one coming for Apple is on December 27th next week. What's unique about our program, which is an indicator for the NinjaTrader platform, NinjaTrader will tie to your Apex account, it'll tie to your TD Ameritrade account, your Interactive Brokers account, your forex.com account, is that on the right-hand side of the chart, we can see when the signals are coming up. Blue signals are historically predictive to the downside. White signals, the dates on the bottom, are warning us when potential up moves are coming. To the left is what actually occurred at those times. So if we get rid of all of the stuff that I've scribbled on there, you can see what's happened at those times. If we look at other markets here, I've got to make sure my Coinbase data feed is connected. It is. We can look at other markets like XRP on a daily chart and see when those signals are likely to produce up moves. We're currently in a window between coming up here into the 28th of January. waiting for a long signal. SPY. We've been posting those signals into the Facebook groups. The last signal was for December 6th. We warned everybody there was a period of consolidation coming, slowing the market down for about a week or so. And now the next drop-off point is January 1st. The next upcoming buy time is January 11th. These signals are not based on some guru feeling, some scratchy, spidey sense in my butt. There's about 12,000 lines of code, a learning model, if you will, that searches for days and times over periods of thousands of bars where markets are going up and going down, cycles. You could infer perhaps institutional shenanigans, banks manipulating markets at these times. One of the ways that I use to project targets and an upcoming update for this software is what I call an exertion analysis. So I go back and I look at the most basic level. And Earl, I'm asking the question, how far did the markets go when it was time to go? From the low of the buy candle to as high as it got, even the little signals. And when I measured that, let me come back a little bit more. When I measure how high it got between the buying and the selling signals, I can actually create a database of sorts and keep track of how far banks push when they push. How high does it go when they go up at the predictive buying signals? And I call this an exertion analysis. How much effort do they exert when it's time to get off the institutional Barker lounger and move? So Ken, can you see those arrows here where they're starting to sort of coagulate? That initial rectangle that I drew is connecting the minimum with the median. And that's sort of where we hit. But then you've got this level and this level, the outliers. What would happen if they really went nuts between now and January 1st? And so at every signal, I can sort of gauge what's my minimum target, what's my median target, what's my maximum target. And even that is predictive. Even that can be predictive. This works as well on the Euro US dollar. I've been publishing this into the Facebook groups there. Thank you if you've been part of that group. Your reception of me, you guys have been really great over there. I don't care what they say about forex traders. You guys are awesome. And the last signal was along on December 15th. And from the close of that candle, we've gone all the way back now to the high of this resistance zone right here. They're having a little bit of difficulty getting up above that level. But if it was ever going to happen, we can now use that same analysis. It's drawing by hand, but guys, watch. Low to high, low to high, low to high, no move whatsoever, little tiny arrow here. Low to high, low to high, low to high. And Earl, if I take all these arrows, I can build a composite predicting, based on what the banks usually do, a minimum and a maximum, as well as a median target for these moves. And you'll start to see clusters. So not only did we predict the euro would go up, can you see, Ken, where most of those arrows are congregating right now? Up here. Then you got this guy in the middle. And then there's the, oh my God, signal. On or by when? January 4th. So our software is excellent at warning you in the future when these moves are coming. We can see when they're coming. Inconceivable. We can see when these moves are coming. Now, here's the cool part. We can do this intraday. We can do it intraday. I can see when signals are coming in the future. If I'm following Tesla, I can look on a 30-minute chart. I can look on a 30-minute chart. I can start to work my way down to smaller time frames. So CL, for example, on a 60-minute time frame, the system is working the same. And now if I load enough data here, we're going to bring 90 days of historical data into the chart. I'll turn off this right there. You'll see this is working now on a lower time frame. So Chris, I'm not looking at it daily anymore. All I've done is change the time frame. Like we would use a 50% fib on a 5-minute chart. We can use a 50% fib on an hourly chart. We can use the time analysis on a 1 hour, on a daily, on a 5-second chart. And so this is telling me now that the price of oil was expected to go down from 11 o'clock to 1 o'clock, and then rise from 1 p.m. into 9 a.m. tomorrow. And all of these markers to the left are the times where those things were expected. And we have a track record of what happened at those times. Does that make sense, everybody? Anyone lost so far? So here's where things start getting a little weird. 2 days ago, because no one believes me when I tell them this, I have to give them the times in advance. And so everyone gets a copy of this link. I'll put it in the chat box. 1, 2, 3. Hello, David. And I'm giving people the times, people who aren't customers yet, for the 2 days before the webinar, Wednesday and Thursday, because I can see the outputs in advance. So scrolling down, you can see the E-mini S&P, oil on a 1 and 3, gold. Oh, gold. Huh. That's what's on my chart right now. So you're telling me that this chart here has been available to study since Tuesday, before the unemployment report today, before GDP, and these were the times that the program was warning us in the future banks were likely to push gold prices higher and lower. Is that what you're saying? Because it sounds crazy, mate. That's exactly what I was saying. But look, that was a horrible accent, by the way. I'm so sorry. That didn't sound remotely like anybody, so I don't think I offended anyone. Can you guys see where it says 10:15 here? Well, a bunch of people have been watching this and knew that 10:15 was a time gold was coming up. What time was the report today? Eastern time. Anybody remember? What time was the report? The big one with all the red flags that's going to move the market. That's right, 8:30. What did the program warn us gold would do on Tuesday, on Thursday, 2 days later at 8:35? Guys, come on. And then at 6:35, at 8 o'clock, this little signal here, it starts to pull down. Let's call that one a maybe. Down at 5:15, down at 3:50, up at 2:40, up at 4:50. Holy cow. And then the rest of the signals today. And it's not just today. If we go back in time, you can see what happened yesterday at the gold times. And we could go back a day before and see what happened Tuesday at the times that were predicted. And if you use the smallest amounts of risk that you've ever used in your life, trading can be easy if you know the times in advance that the markets are likely to go up and down again. Trading can be easy if you're waiting for those moves to occur. Any questions so far? Somebody the other day made a post on one of the stock forum groups, and they said FedEx is a predictor of recessions and depressions. And he said, but it's likely to continue higher through the season, through holidays. FedEx stock, I expect it to go up. And I pulled up a weekly chart, Eamon, and the settings on this chart, on the weekly chart, are 7/14/00 trading days. Ian, if you're here, it's trading days with a swing strength of 8. On the historical data, I've loaded 1,825 days with a week as the bar. And I told the guy, no. I can find the post if you don't believe me. I said, FedEx is down from December 8th until March 29th. This was a stop run right here. This is the liquidity grab. This is dumb money. And sure enough, you can see what happened in FedEx on a weekly chart. If we come down to the intraday level, people always want to know what's going on, and they always ask about the ES. On a daily time frame, I am using the Warp program on the E-mini S&P with 10 years of historical data loaded, 3650 one day. My setting for this chart is really unique. Most of the time I use the one setting, but Eamon, this is a trading days for origination mode 1230. I've been using this for a year in the webinars to tell people when the signals are coming. Swing strength of 5. And what did the program warn us? What was the last signal? What was the signal we were watching for last as an indication of what would happen? December 11th, Michael. Until when? December 22nd, tomorrow? Huh. Could we use the same technique that we used in FedEx, that we used in the Euro US dollar to analyze how high the ES might have gone this time? Sure. We can collect all the arrows and create an amalgamation, a conglomerate of all the moves historically. And we could have known from the close of that bar how high it was likely to go, minimum, medium, maximum. You see that? On a daily chart, when the candles closed on the 11th, I had every understanding that the smallest move, and if you're in my pro room, you remember I said this, the smallest move was here, and then the middle arrows were here, and the maximum arrows are here before December 22nd. So it's working still on a daily time frame. I'm able to project what my minimum, median, and maximum targets are. And I still think there's time by tomorrow's close to get up here into the 4840s again and take out this high. But intraday, that's really where the rubber meets the road, isn't it? Intraday is really where the rubber meets the road. And here's where the miracle happens for some of you. Some of you have been praying to the Kwanzaa tree for an answer. Why is trading so hard for me? Trading is hard for you because you're not paying attention to the fundamental, the foundation of why markets move. Let me delete my signals here. In every webinar, my settings are always the same, except for that one daily chart I showed you. It is intraday 7-14-00 with a swing strength of 8. And I have at least 30 days historical loaded in my data series. I need at least a month of signals to do the analysis. Hey, Sammy. So 7-14-00, swing strength 8. Those are the default values of all of the charts that I load. No, you're welcome. Please always ask questions. So if we look at the times that were expected for today, my question is this: how unpredictable? Larry Larry has a question for you. He's got his thing. You give him your phone number. He wants to hook up with you. Does loading additional calendar days help in? Well, Sammy, let me answer your question at the end of this, and you're going to see why I need to go that direction first. What was forecast to happen today at 7:05? What was forecast to happen today at 9:50? What was forecast to happen today at 11:20 and 12:45? I have to draw those lines there because the size of these bars are pretty big. And I want you to see what happens. What was forecast to happen at 1:40, at 2:25, and then at 3:25? Was there a plan for the E-mini S&P today? Did people follow through on what was expected? And before you say, hey, it didn't go continually up, at 11:20, the market went up about $8 or $400 per contract. If you're a follower in my pro room, in my training room, you know that I've taught you to take signals and split them into thirds. And so you would have been anticipating a short right here in between the long and the short. You would have been anticipating a long right here. If you had done the same thing over here, you would have gotten the same results. Big spans of time, we can find little movements in between. And this is a pattern 5. If you're a customer at home and you know what that is, you now know. So using the signals from the forecast page 2 days ago, right here on the market 2 days later, gave us this. Was that just dumb luck? Or is there something deeper going on here? Yesterday, the market fell and the news made a big stink about it. How many of you watched all the news programs yesterday? Biggest down day in however many months or years. When did the drop occur? Well, there was a swing low right here. Let's look at the chart. What did the program warn us about on Tuesday? For Thursday, or Wednesday in this case, forgive me. What did the program warn us about on Wednesday? Well, right here, it says 235. What were the banks inclined to do, Sammy, at 235 that we were aware of on Tuesday? before Wednesday. Until when? 340. Is it okay, or am I crazy when I say there was a pushback right here at 340? The biggest bull bar, Sammy, 1, 2, 3. There's a swing pivot low right here, right, guys? People took profit when? At 340. If you had gone short at 245 and held it until 340, what are we talking? That's a $53 move. That's $2,500. Tim Murphy says, I made $5,000 on the drop, Mike. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, Tim Murphy. When does it start going back up? It starts going back up at 6 o'clock, and it goes another 7 points straight up. And here's the thing. These markets, it's not just a one-day thing. The further back we go, the more evidence we see how important time is. How important time is. Trading without time is hard. You need gurus, you think. You need crazy bars. Michael, I have a RevZilla NinjaTrader Logic Pure Renko double distilled bar. Does your software work on that? No, it does not. What are you doing with that crazy bar that looks like a zipper? Did you know the ES was going to drop at 1225? Did you know that it was going to go up at 120 and at 350? Would you like to know these things in advance? Because as far back as I go, every one of these signals was a warning that we knew about ahead of time. Every single one. And your day can literally start with a bus schedule. Well, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to be ready at 8:55, 9:45, and 11 o'clock. I'm going to watch before the report at 8 o'clock. I'm going to get up a little early and try that 450 short and see if I can't make a few dollars before the wife gets up. Any questions? So Sammy said, well, why don't we load even more data? Why don't we put even more signals into there? And Sammy, there's actually a law of diminishing returns. Fun fact, if you load more and more and more data into the analysis, it gets worse and worse. The signals get fuzzier and fuzzier and fuzzier. You want to see a cool example of that? Sammy, come into your program. And right now we're looking at the last 2 Thursdays. Last Thursday, the Thursday before. Try this. Change it to trading days and go to a 1. Change your swing strength to 5. And now the program is looking at all the times that something happened yesterday. You understand that, Sammy? 1 day of data, 24 hours old. And it will project all of the important move times from yesterday. This is the simplest setting you can put into the computer. And if you hit OK, watch. Did stuff happen at those times from yesterday, today? The more sensitive you make the swing, watch, more moves will come in. Make it a 3 instead of a 5. These are the small moves from yesterday plotted on top of today. So using a 1-day analysis, most of the time, Priyat, I'm using the default. The default is a 714 swing strength 8. This one right here. On the daily chart, I use a 12305. Let's go back and look at the NQ daily just to make sure I'm not giving you the wrong information. On the daily, it is a 714.8. So the daily projections for the NQ are 714 swing strength 8, same as the chart I was just showing you. Any questions so far? Any markets that I haven't covered that you want me to go over with you real quick? It is the holidays after all. No, usually 10 people give me a thing. Macho Camacho. So the ES 1 minute chart, you just change this from a 5 to a 1. Chris, what do you think? Could you do some damage with that? When I'm above the trend line, I'm looking for longs. When I'm below the trend line, I'm looking for shorts. Well, Chris, yeah, there's generally several groups of settings that work well. I call them the cardinal 5. Let me show you. And most of the time, I always use basically 1. 1, here, let me draw it here. Hey, Larry, customers can join my room if you, I'm going to copy your email address right here. Larry, do you own the software already? Yeah, you need to have the software because it's a customer only thing. When you get the program, there's an option for you to come to the room. Otherwise, you can't as a matter of policy. The program that I'm showing you right here, the one Dave's going to call you about, the TachEon Warp, W-A-R-P in Cincinnati. So 1, 2, if we look at this chart, Chris, the default values are 714.00, swing strength 8, calendar. You also have the 1, 2, 3, 0, swing strength 5, trading days. You have 1, 0, 0, 0, swing strength 5, trading days. You have 3, 0, 0, 0, swing strength 5, trading days. 9, 0, 0, 0, swing strength 5, trading days. Actually, 1, 2, 3, 5. Yeah, let's say these numbers 5 to 11 and try each one 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So for example, on the ES, one of the things I know works really well is the 3 or the 9. Let's see how it looks on the 1 minute with the 3. Oh, see how nice that 3 looks? Let's try the 9. Oh, 9. Even better. Boom, boom. The ES works really well on 3 and 9 variations. The NQ works well on 1, 1, 2, 3 variations. But 714 works well for everything. So Larry, the program that we're talking about, the one that's going to change your life, the one that people keep giving us 4- and 5-star reviews for, is this guy right here. See it? It's our flagship product. The brand is TachEon. What does TachEon mean? Does anyone know? It's a combination of 2 nerd words. Fun fact. There are 2 words, tachyon, which is a theoretical particle in physics that can move backwards and forwards in time. If we ever do travel through time, we're going to need tachyons. And then eon. So in theory, the programs, our programs, move eternally backwards and forwards in time, endlessly. That's where TachEon comes from. Fun fact. Our products are designed to move backwards and forwards in time endlessly. Yeah, hey, sure, Charles. Let's go ahead and put them up there. Good question. I should have dwelled on that a little bit more. My apologies. So the default is 1271400, swing strength 8, calendar. Then the most basic one, 1000, swing strength 5 to 10, trading days. 1230, swing strength 5, trading days. 30005, trading. 9000, trading days. One of those will generally be perfect for a market. A bit too advanced? Okay. Larry, I could slow it down for you. Or you could, like you said, invest more in a one-on-one session. That might be better for you. I'm sorry it was too advanced. I can go slower if you tell me to. Any questions about that? So on a 9000, you get that. But my default, again, if you don't want to worry about it, just set it and forget it, like a Ron Popeil chicken roaster. 71400. Venus, no one does it matter what minute you are using. No, you pick the time that you're comfortable with. So Venus, watch 1 minute, 3 minute. Didn't change anything, right? 3 minute, 4 minute. Didn't change anything. 4 minute, 15 minute. Didn't change anything. 15 minute, 1 hour. Didn't change anything. You're welcome. Any questions? And then Chris, if you come in here and you wanted to try the 3s or the 9s, takes 1 second and you'll see right away. There's the 3. Here comes the 9. But now you're sort of in the deep end of the swimming pool. You see how the ES reacts to the 9 as opposed to the 714, Chris? It's kind of obvious. Gann, fun fact, the guy who first started using time signals, he lived around the early 1900s. And Chris, he believed that the markets behaved the same way that molecules behaved. Vibration was the word he used. And there was another guy who believed the same things he believed, a guy named Nikola Tesla. Not the car that has the wheels that fall off when you drive it, or the batteries that are killing the earth, cobalt being mined by 12-year-olds in third world countries. But he's saving the planet, remember. This Tesla, the guy who's responsible for the electricity in your walls and the computer that you're looking at, the cell phone that you talk through, the radio you used to listen to. Tesla, when he studied vibration and the same things that Gann studied in time, if those of you that want to go a little deeper down the rabbit hole when you're playing with your settings, there's a reason those numbers, Chris, keep coming up as really good settings, variations of 3 when we're studying time. They keep popping up. So when I use a 9-day cycle on the E-mini S&P on this 60-minute chart, that's pretty bananas, right? So from a 714 to a 9, all of a sudden, and again, someone's going to ask me, what were the settings on that? Swing strength 5, trading days 9000. 3675309, 8675309. So we have a sell signal now with the close. The next signal is a buy tomorrow at 7 o'clock on the 1 hour chart. Oh, that's pretty good. I'm going to remember that one. Any other markets or questions that you guys want to go over or go through? Trading is easy when you're using time signals. I can't fake it because I gave you the times 2 days ago. So what you're seeing is 100% real. We have a 4K picture of Bigfoot, Sasquatch in a cage, DNA sample. It's him. We've captured the banks using these times against us. And what I do, Venus, is I take the signals in the direction of the trend. I buy at 2 o'clock, I exit at 10 o'clock. I buy at 10 o'clock, whoops. I exit at 1 o'clock. I buy at 11 o'clock, I exit at 4 o'clock. I buy at 8 o'clock, I exit at 11 o'clock. I buy when it punctures this blue line, I exit at 5 o'clock. I buy at 5 o'clock, I hit my stop. Actually would have been at break even on that trade. It went more than $500 in my direction. So we'll count that as a break even trade. And then when this candle closes below the moving average, I would have sold. It went from 77 to 41, right? So when you buy and sell in the direction of the trend, your winners are bigger than your losers, and you can have an understanding of what the trend for the day is most likely to be if you use a higher time frame analysis. Looking at other markets real quick, we can sort of get a beat on it. This was oil futures today at the times that we've had for a couple of days now. This was today. This was yesterday. This was Tuesday. On the 3-minute chart, we can also look at the 1-minute chart, the smallest time frame most people are kind of willing to trade. And again, Venus, if you sold when it was blue and you bought when the moving average was white, you did okay. Any questions about oil? All of these times were signals that you had since Tuesday for Thursday. No way to fake it. No way to fake it. And again, if you want to use this on currency pairs, I have this set right now to the New Zealand dollar on a 60-minute chart. New Zealand is an uptrend right now, and I can see the signals coming up. The next one is 9 a.m. tomorrow. And if I'm long, I'm looking for a failure of the blue dot to confirm that trend is continuing and hold it until 9 o'clock tomorrow. You can change this to different pairs. The dollar CAD, for example, which is in a downtrend. If you trade, most forex guys are looking at 15-minute charts or so. And you'll see here, I have the signals waiting for me coming up in the future. You can have this. Michael, how can we have it? I'm glad you asked. Number one, Dave's going to call you if you're here today. He does work for us. He is a great guy. He is very easy to talk to. He's going to tell you his story, hear your story, and he's going to talk a little bit about this program that I've been showing you, TachEon Warp, like the warp drive. Engage. At the bottom of the TachEon Warp page is an orange Willy Wonka buy now button. If you press that button, there is a training room that is available where you can go to watch people take live trades with the software as you're learning how to use it. If that's something you want to throw on there, it's 25% off when you buy with the software. If you don't want a live room, you want to learn on your own, we have hours of training videos in the resource center for customers to watch, from very simple getting started sections to advanced stuff. That's there for you too. Now here's the cool part. CYBER-WARP. CYBER-WARP. C is in Charlie, Y is in Yankee, Baker, Edward, Radio, Whiskey Alpha, Radio Papa. Cyber Warp. When you put that in the promo code and hit apply, oh my gosh. I got chills just now. Did you? It takes $1,000 off the price. The accountant says we're supposed to offer deep discounts at the end of the year. Something about you guys need tax breaks and tax deductions and blah, blah, blah. Get yourself something nice. It's $1,000 off. And the price is going up next year. As of right now, I'm telling you, we have never raised the price on this product in 15 years. Next year, it's going up. Thanks, Obama. Next year, the price is going up. I promise you. Eagle Scout honor. On my honor, I will do my best to do my duty to God and my country and to obey the Scout law. I promise you, it's going up. There will also be an annual update charge, a maintenance fee, so that you can get the latest and greatest updates, those things we were talking about, like having the exertion analysis on your screen. That's an update. That's coming. I want it, so you're going to get it. So if you ever wanted it, the RevPol is insane. RevPol came from the Force study, Venus, and we put it into Warp because it works. Yeah, Ron loves RevPol 1. I'm a RevPol 2 guy myself. But all those updates were included for free. If you get it before January 1st, you're grandfathered into that. In addition, holy cow, I forgot to tell you about this. There's a Skype group. If you want to be in a room with, right now, there's 186 people in there who are sharing their settings with each other and sharing their results and their Apex accounts and their strategies and what they're doing, you're more than welcome to join these guys. They're in here and they're sharing their results with each other. They're communicating, they're sharing phone numbers and Skype contacts and hooking up with each other in their workspaces and their charts. We built a community of users, which is hard because most of you guys don't talk to each other. Most of you guys don't talk to each other. So you just need to get a Skype account. It's free, and we'll throw you in there. Venus, send me or Rachel an email with your Skype ID, or you can send me a request on Skype. I'll give you my Skype profile so you have it. You can find me on Skype. I am either Integra-Michael or Michael Patrick Lydick. Either of those, if you look for me, happy holidays. Find me, add me as a friend, and I'll put you in the group. And then you can have me to ask questions and stuff too. It's cool when I can respond and send you stuff and files and screenshots that way. So that's a way to reach me, and that group is there for you as well. $1,000 off, free updates, 2 computer licenses, free installation. If you want Rachel to get on your computer and install it for you, you want to make sure it's all working, connected okay, not a problem. It's a transferable license, meaning if you're 113 years old, or if you have terminal funny bone and 6 minutes to live, you can pass it to your kids or your neighbor or your uncle or your cousin or that kid down the street with the weird eye. It's a transferable license. We'll train them from scratch and they can use your program. It's like a physical object. Some of you are no spring chickens and others of you are leaving it to other people. And it's cool. You should be able to do that. Yes, Christopher, the larger the swing strength, the fewer the signals and the larger the moves in between. The smaller the numbers, the more frequent the signals, and the smaller the moves in between. The swing strength is your volume dial on exertion. How small of a move, how tight of a risk, how big of a move, how large of a risk do you want to look at? Usually between a 5 and a 10 is where most people end up. The more numbers you put in the boxes, the smaller the number should be. No, the larger the number should be. The fewer numbers you put in the boxes, the smaller the swing strength should be. Hey yourself. My dad passed away when he was 58. I'm 52. His dad passed away when he was in his 50s, and his brother passed away when he was in his 30s. They had congenital heart failure. Time is short, man. I'm clear. They did the ultrasound. They already got in there. My ticker is solid. So I'm not going anywhere anytime soon. But if my kids want a license, they can have mine. Any questions about what's included? Because tomorrow, this new year, you can start and trading can be easier for you. If you want, you can join the group of people who have come before you and left a review. And they've all said more or less the same thing. These are real people. All of these people were sitting in a webinar just like you at one point, and they all said the same thing. And they all came away with the same experience. Trading got easier when I started using these times. People started seeing trades that went in their direction right away. People started letting their profits run and cutting their losers short. They stopped over trading. So if you want to go through that, search for us at Back to the Future Trading in the trustpilot.com area where people have left all of their reviews. And you can get a sense of what your experience with us is going to be like. Now, at the end of it all, it's been a crazy year. I told everyone the volatility was coming. It's been here. It's came. A lot of you made a lot of money. You're welcome. We work very hard to build this for you, to support it for you, to be here when you have questions and issues, to put you in a community of people who are getting funded accounts, who are getting payouts from their funded accounts, the whole thing. I am for you. I am on your side. I am not a guru. If you're looking for a guru, I'm not your guy. I'm that guy out in the Baja Desert in a Toyota Tacoma with the Super Shocks and the Turbo Boost, trying to figure out what works really well so I can go back to the factory and put all that fun stuff in your Camry. I want you to have a smooth, comfortable, easy commute every morning in that vehicle when you trade. And so for 15 years, over 5,000 customers, we have killed ourselves to provide the best thing we know how to make, so that when you sit down and you put your Pentium 9 computer with your 64 gig of RAM and your $50,000, $10,000, $5,000 account up against Goldman Sachs, up against Deutsche Bank, JP Morgan, who gets billion-dollar violations charges for manipulating the market, you got a chance. Without us, I don't think you have a chance. Do you have free trials? Do you have a live room I can watch? Can I come to your house and make cookies with you? None of those things. I don't do any of the things that the other guys do because they're not good, right? There was a lady once in my Weight Watchers class a long time ago, and she asked the lady up front how many points carrots had. She said, "How many points are in carrots?" And the lady looked back and she smiled and said, "Sweetie, you didn't get fat eating carrots. Eat as many carrots as you want." Trials don't work. Free indicators don't work. Gurus don't work. Live trading rooms don't work. This works. 2 days ago, I told you what these markets would do. At the end of the year, unemployment reports, GDP, up, down, right at the times we told you. Tomorrow you have a choice. Next year you have a choice. When you turn that computer on, do you want to be surprised? Do you want to do it the hard way? Or do you want it to be easier than it was yesterday and the day before? That's what I got for you. I hope that 2024 is everything you wish and desire for yourself. I wish your profit targets, your P&L is exactly what you've targeted for yourself or more. I wish your health is incredible and your memories, the moments you assemble and gather are the best of your life. We deserve it after these last few years. According to my time studies, we're coming into a very tumultuous year. It's going to be really hard. A lot of people's lives are going to change for the not so better. And I want you to cling to the belief that you have for yourself. I believe it for you. I believe with you. I'm on your side. I'm an ally in your dreams and goals. And I think together, if we come together and we're moving in that direction together as a community, we're going to see those visions for ourselves come to fruition. And so I stand with you here today. I hope, I pray the wind be at your back, that the sun may shine on all of our faces, the mountains lay low before us, and the valleys rise up to meet us as we go forward into the new year. The days are getting longer and longer now. They were shorter and shorter and shorter. There's more light in the world. Moving forward out of December in the 20s up to January in the new year. It's a new beginning, more energy, more sunlight, all good things, less darkness. That's my prayer for all of us here today, less darkness, more light. I love all of you. Thank you for your support. I appreciate you as a customer. Please let us know how we can serve you better and grow and become even stronger, a more powerful ally alongside of you as you do battle every day in these markets. Take care, everyone. Be safe. Ken, I saw your questions. Skype is the best way. So Ken, I'm going to send you an email. I have it. I have yours, and I'll send you my contact information, phone, Skype, email. You can call me or text me, whichever you want to do. Blessings, energy, all that to you guys. I'll see you soon. Take care. This recording will be on our YouTube channel, probably later this evening, early tomorrow morning if you missed it. And if you're seeing this, you can reach out, David, D-A-V-I-D, at backtothefuturetrading.com for sales. If you have technical questions, Michael, M-I-C-H-A-E-L, at Back to the Future Trading for everything else. And we'll be happy to give you a hand. Take care, everyone. Happy New Year, Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, all that good stuff.